What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some early Starfield impressions. Now, this comes from a person who is playing the game. I'll say this, though, no spoilers, and I'll probably have that in the title, or you probably know that when watching this, but I'll say it anyway. This is not anything spoiler-wise. It's kind of just, again, early 15-hour in, some very, very general things. Thought it would be interesting just to kind of throw it out there, see what you guys think of it, and to say, of course, my piece on it. So this comes from Tyler McVickers, and I don't know if he's going to get in trouble with this, but I mean, he posted on Discord and it's been taken and kind of shared around, so it's kind of too late. Like, the guy has put himself out there with saying some early impressions. I don't know what happens to him because of it, but here we go. So he says the game starts slow and tries not to overwhelm you with systems and choices, but it does get a bit overwhelming, so the first few hours are weird. Once you get into the main story, though, it gets very good. It's mind-blowing how good the game looks for it being in the creation engine. He says this game is something, I'll tell you. He says he'll expand upon a lot of these things in his full review. These are just some early thoughts. And the biggest, maybe the biggest thing to me, he's 15 hours in, and there's not a single bug he's experienced. And in the Discord thing, people are saying, I got to cancel my pre-order because I pre-ordered this game knowing or wanting bugs in it. So obviously I have to cancel it. So some pretty funny back and forth. But honestly, almost as good as you can get. Now, I'd say almost, right? Because of the whole, it gets a bit overwhelming. I guess that's a slight negative. Look, though, a lot of people are probably coming from Baldur's Gate 3. I'm coming from playing Baldur's Gate 3 as the last new release that I played. I guess, well, maybe Texas Chainsaw. But, you know, that game is obviously very overwhelming. And I think, obviously, that game is still absolutely incredible. It probably is going to win at least some Game of the Year awards, right? It's definitely up there. And that game throws everything at you. You got to watch some YouTube videos to know what you're doing. You got to read everything in sight. So for this game to be a bit overwhelming, it's probably not going to be all that bad because we're coming from a game, or some of us are coming from a game that's kind of a lot. But the game starting slow and trying not to overwhelm you, that's good. That's probably pretty obvious, right? You'd imagine any game, even if it's huge, right? A massive game with a lot of stuff in it, you would probably want to start people slow, give them things kind of piecemeal, right? Explain how the game kind of is going to evolve or what the game's going to give you. Again, talks about the main story being very good. That's great. I don't have much to say about that one. The game looking really good. That's a great sign. Not that I necessarily was worried, I guess, about the visual. Like, for me, it was bugs. I mean, I said that for so long. My two main concerns, and I guess maybe they still are, maybe they're not. Bugs, right? So is the game literally playable? So already we're looking pretty good there. And then the planet thing, right? That 900 of them won't have life, and, you know, how's that going to kind of look, or how's that really going to feel to me as a player in the world? That's really, I would say, my main concern. I've never really been all that worried about how the game is going to look. The game looked pretty darn good last time they showed it. I really didn't have any complaints about the visual fidelity, you know, of things there. And then being 15 hours in and not a single bug, again, that's the biggest thing to me of those 5-6 bullet points. The game just needed to be playable for me. I said it before. I'm not expecting the game to have no bugs. So either he's exaggerating, or maybe he'll eventually find a bug, or he's telling the truth, right? But whatever ends up happening, that's already an amazing sign, because I had said it before, like Skyrim, you can get a bug in the first 5 minutes of the game, right? Your horse can start taking you off to the sky. That actually happened with me when I first played. The very first time I played Skyrim, my horse went into outer space, okay? That doesn't come across great when it's within the first 5 minutes and you're picking your character and the horse just kind of takes off into the solar system, all right? This game would maybe actually make more sense because you're supposed to be in space. But no, honestly, I think it's a really good thing. 15 hours in, I would, I guess, take it at face value unless he's lying about it. I don't know why you'd want to do that, because people would call you out. But even if there's a couple small bugs, 15 hours in, that's perfectly fine. A game at this size and scope, I would not, and it's also Bethesda, and I'm sorry, you know, Bethesda's a great team, and I like a lot of Bethesda games, but let's not pretend like their games come out all that well optimized and all that stuff. A lot of their games come out in really poor conditions, or just I would say maybe below average conditions. So just hearing that it's doing really good so far, that's more than fine with me. So there you go. No spoilers. See, I told you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.